Thanks a lot, guys. Welcome into the Eagles Nest. Got another great show for you. Coming up, one of the best gymnasts in all of college sports, Brockport's very own Kaitlin Dewey, will join me live right here on set. Also, Brett Jendra will take us through Golden Eagle sports by the numbers. All of that and much more coming up on the Eagles Nest. Welcome back into the Eagles Nest. Pleased to be joined by our first guest of the evening, junior for the Brockport gymnastics team, Kaitlin Dewey. Kaitlin, thanks for taking the time out to join us.
No problem.
Now, the Brockport gymnastics team over the last number of years has been one of, if not the most successful team on the campus at Brockport. And for younger generations and for the older gymnasts to look back and see this team, I'm sure it brings a lot of pride. Do you feel pressure to keep that winning tradition going, and how much pressure is there?
There's a lot of pressure, but everyone tries not to let it get to them because, I mean, you definitely feel the pressure with hitting routines and going throughout meet after meet after meet every weekend, but if you think about the pressure too much, you can definitely tell it gets to us and we don't do as good, so we try not to think about it.
Well, apparently you guys have been doing a pretty good job at that. Team ranked #1, and you yourself have been ranked #1 and just set a new Brockport record in the uneven bars. Now, I know most people will say it's a team sport, but what do those individual accomplishments mean to you?
Honestly, to be completely% honest, I would give in every record, All-American, any individual stat that I would have to win team nationals. So the team is kind of where I'm at, and I don't really think about anything individual.
How does finishing second for 2 years in a row fuel that desire for a national championship?
It's really rough for us because each time we go to nationals, we are more than ready to win nationals. And for the past 2 years, we had the team to do it, and it just kind of didn't fall apart. It just wasn't our day, and we knew that going into it, we could have won. And then at the end result, losing by a couple of tenths of a way, it just kills you.
We're talking about, fractions of a point, and it has to be even harder knowing that you did have a team who could win, and it's just a matter of, I don't even know, I'm not a gymnastics scorer, but it has to be extra frustrating knowing that we're just as good. It's just that, one misstep or something like that.
It's really frustrating and hard because we work so hard and we know that we can do it and we hit our routines, but then when we go into the meet, sometimes, I guess you could say the pressure just kind of gets to us. So
you only have one meet to go until you start into that tournament time with ECACs. How do you prepare for that last meet? Is it the same as you're going into the tournament? Do you do the same routines as you're going to do in the tournaments, or do you mix it up and kind of try and take it off to set your mind right?
We kind of just do the same thing. It's no different, really. We go into it thinking as it's just another meet that we have to get through, and but you want to try to finish in the top 3 to get to nationals. So we're pretty focused going into it.
What does it do for your team being able to be home for that last meet before you hit the tournaments?
It feels really nice because it is our senior meet, and it's my last home meet and all the other seniors, and it's kind of a team bonding sort of thing, and I think it's a good meet to go into ECACs for us because we just beat Cortland, and Cortland's coming again, so I think it'll be a good one.
Now, as a senior, it is your last chance to win that national championship, set some records of your own, which, as we mentioned before, you've already done. What do you want your lasting legacy, I guess I would call it, to be here for Brockport Gymnastics?
Just to let people know that, this team, we really do work hard, and, we aren't about individual, status or anything like that, and it's really honestly just for our team goal, and we just want to win nationals. And hopefully people can see that and realize that we're just going for a one-team goal.
All right. Kaitlin Dewey, thanks a lot for taking the time to join us, and wish you best of luck as you head into the tournaments, and hopefully you'll bring that big trophy home to Brockport.
Yeah.
Going for it 2 times, finishing 2nd overall in the national tournament. Just that close. And maybe this is the year for Brockport Gymnastics. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll have Brett Jendra with some Golden Eagle Sports by the numbers.
Welcome back to the Eagles Nest. I'm Ryan Gates with your Golden Eagle Sports Update. The ice hockey team finished up their season over the weekend with a road trip to Oswego and Cortland. On Friday night, the team would strike first against the #1 team in the nation, Oswego. However, the Golden Eagles could not find the back of the net for the rest of the night on their way to a 7-1 loss. Freshman Brendan Rothfuss had the lone goal for the Golden Eagles, and Joey Reagan made 45 saves in the losing effort. The following night, the Golden Eagles were in Cortland to face off against the Red Dragons in their season finale. Once again, Brockport would take the early lead, but fall this time by the score of 5-3. Tom Galliani and Ian Finnerty both nabbed their 7th goal of the season in the final game. The Golden Eagles ended their disappointing season with a 4-18-3 record. On Saturday, the women's gymnastic team participated in the Harriet Maranka tournament. They would take home the tournament crown over Ithaca, Cortland, and Wilson College with a team score of 186.475. Senior Kaitlin Dewey was the overall winner of the tournament with a total score of 38.25 in 4 events. And sophomore Elizabeth Levy took the 3rd in the all-around competition, posting a season best score of 37.675. The team next travels to Cortland for their regular season finale on Saturday. The women's basketball team had plenty of action in the past week. They started last Tuesday with a hard-fought loss to the Buffalo State Bengals, 62-59. The Golden Eagles went into halftime trailing by 14 and rallied to tie the game, but could not hold on to get the win. Ellen Story had 21 points in the effort. On Friday, the team traveled to Oswego to take on the Lakers. Ellen Story once again led the team with 13 points in a losing effort to Oswego as they fell 84-61. Despite the loss, the Golden Eagles clinched a spot in the SUNYAC tournament. Finally, the women traveled to Cortland Saturday for their regular season finale. The Golden Eagles went into halftime with a double-digit deficit and could not complete a comeback as they dropped the game to Cortland 67-57. The team finished the season 6-19 and 4-14 in the SUNYAC. They hold the 8th seed and take on top seed Geneseo in the first round of the SUNYAC tournament Tuesday night. In both of the previous meetings, Geneseo won by 9. Finally, the men's basketball team also had a busy week. It started Tuesday night against a tough Buffalo State squad. The men would drop that game 96-83. John Ivey scored 18 points in the losing effort for the Golden Eagles. Friday, the team traveled to Oswego to face the #1 team in the SUNYAC. In a very tight matchup, Brockport fell to the Lakers 69-61. 2 freshmen led the way for the Golden Eagles as Kaim Green and John Ivey both scored 16 points. The men would end their season on a positive note, however. They took their final regular season game from the Cortland Red Dragons 66-60. Once again, freshman John Ivey led the Golden Eagles as he posted a career-high 22 points. The men finished the regular season with a 13-12 record, going 11-7 in the SUNYAC. They will host a first-round matchup against the Oneonta Red Dragons Tuesday night at Jim and John Villaginitas Stadium. The 2 teams split their matchups this season as the home team has won both times. I'm Ryan Gates with your Golden Eagles Sports Update. We will have more of the Eagles Nest after the break.
I get a little aggressive. I just got to steady myself before the show.
Brian tends to get a little violent. Yeah, he doesn't, likes to hit things. It's a little dangerous around here.
And join us next time on the Eagles Nest. Awesome! Sport! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about! Welcome back into the Eagles Nest. Right now, we'll bring back one of our favorite segments, along with Brett Jendra. He takes us through Golden Eagle Sports by the numbers. Winter edition. Take it away, Brett.
Thank you, Brian. Welcome to yet another edition of Brockport Sports by the numbers. In this segment, I will discuss the 2010-2011 winter season, and we'll start with the men's basketball team, who tonight, during the taping of this program, take their number 4 SUNYAC ranking up against the number 5 ranked Oneonta State here on the Brockport campus. The team looks to use that home court advantage and grab a win and add to their overall 13-12 record on the season, led by their team leaders Kaheem Green and Gerald Williams, who've scored 382 and 422 points overall this season, respectively. Williams averages 17.6 points per game, while donning number 20 on his back. 20 is also the number donned by women's basketball team's point leader Sarah Allward. She helped her team lead to the promised land as well, as they finished in 8th place in the SUNYAC and are also playing in a playoff game during the taping of tonight's program. But they take on the number 1 ranked team in the SUNY, that's Geneseo, and they're on the road. Can Allward's 236 points on the season and 9.4 points per game average be enough to increase the team's SUNYAC record that currently stands at 4-14? And speaking of 4, that brings us to 4 wins. Well, 4 wins for the men's ice hockey team, because that was unfortunately all they were able to do this season. You know, it was quite the disappointment from the 2 winning seasons they had in the past, but the bright spot was that one of those wins came against the top 10 ranked team. They beat number 6 SUNY Geneseo, and that was the first time in school history that the hockey team beat a ranked program. Speaking of firsts, there was a big first on campus. That's the women's gymnastics team, and that's senior Kaitlin Dewey, who is currently ranked 1st in the floor exercise nationally for all Division III women's gymnasts. She's ranked 2nd in bars, 7th in vault. And while the Brockport team ranks 1st in the country as well as a team, right on their heels, though, are their cross-conference rivals, the Cortland Red Dragons. They're currently ranked 2nd in the nation, and lucky for you fans, this Saturday, February 26th, in the Tuttle North Gymnasium, Gymnastics Gymnasium that is, Brockport will host Cortland at 1 p.m. Come see the top 2 teams in Division III women's college gymnastics live here on the Brockport campus, something that doesn't come along all the time. That's it for Brockport Sports by the numbers. I'm Brett Jendra. Brian?
And thanks a lot, Brett. That does it for us here at the Eagles Nest. We'd like to thank all of our guests and staff, including Kaitlin Dewey, for stopping by, taking time out of her schedule to join us here on the show. Brett Jendra, of course, for giving us Golden Eagle Sports by the numbers. Ryan Gates, who was behind the cameras and behind the microphone with your Golden Eagle Sports update. J.S. Shaw for producing us, and Mike Baggerman. We hope you all had a great night tonight. We'll see you after spring break.